All right, it's Rob the Darksider. Been a year since my last video. I went back and checked. It was January 9th, 2021. Sorry. I do have a podcast that I do with a buddy of mine, the Fake Spike Podcast. Those of you who have been around a while know where that came from. And we do mostly, game analysis and recaps, previews. We do some, touch on some stuff like I do here, but I'm going to get back to this. I miss it. I lost a year of opportunities between the draft and Wilson and the defense and everything that's gone on. But I'm going to try and stick with it this time and kind of give little quick hits. Stick to one subject at a time like I did back in the day. And my topic today is going to be Zach Wilson. If I had been doing this all along, I would have been up and down. I would have been like, I hate the guy, I love the guy. He showed flashes, he sucks. But I think we've seen enough over the past few weeks to at least, if you're being reasonable, agree that Zach Wilson has showed progress. He has not turned any kind of corner. He has not shown that he can do anything in the future, but he has made progress, and that's huge. It's big. He hasn't thrown a pick in 3 games, which, granted, a couple of balls could have been picked, but they weren't. He has looked much more comfortable in the pocket. He's looked much more in control. There are all kinds of reports that he's kind of exerting his leadership out there. So there is some hope. There is some hope. More than we can say for the last guy. Sam Darnold never showed any progress. Now, you can say he looked good at times, which he did, but the guy came out of the gate looking great in that first game against Detroit, with the exception of the first pass, and then had flashes, through the 3 years he was here, but he never progressed. He never got better. He never turned any corners. He never changed anything and made you think like, hey, we've got some hope. This guy can learn from his mistakes. Zach Wilson seems to have thus far. Obviously, it's early. Some of the games he's won over the past few weeks have not exactly been the elite of the league. We'll find out a little bit about what Zach Wilson's made of in the next couple of weeks. He's got the Bucs this weekend with the return of Tom Brady, the jackass, coming back to torment us a little bit more, and then at Buffalo next week, where they're almost definitely going to need the game, and it's going to be ugly. A road game, Buffalo. They beat the Jets pretty handily a few weeks ago, and I think they'll do it again. So we'll find out about Zach Wilson. What I would like to see from Zach Wilson is what I'm looking towards next year, because I'm not expecting anything in these last couple of games, and I'm not going to judge anything major from these last couple of games. I expect that he's going to look like an overwhelmed rookie, which he has been a lot of the year. He's still kind of, he's kind of showing that maybe he's ready to jump on, that first step that rookie quarterbacks usually take, as opposed to where he was previously, which is why the hell are you even in the lineup? He wasn't ready for the NFL. Now, maybe Zach Wilson, 15 weeks, 16 weeks into the season, has finally reached the stage where rookies are in week 1 and can start to make some progress. But I don't care what he does these last couple of games. I'm not going to judge him. I am gonna take the progress we've seen and sleep at night knowing that Zach Wilson has shown that he could potentially do some things. That's really it. I mean, hasn't proven anything else. What I would like to see next year is Zach Wilson become a little bit of a, I guess we'll call it a game manager. I don't like the term game manager. It's kind of a final definition where that's your guy and that's best he's going to be. But I don't mind the characteristics of a game manager next year. I want to see Zach Wilson in year 2 continue to progress, continue to look comfortable, and make the difference between the Jets losing and not losing. Okay, that's not the same as winning and not winning. I know I know it sounds like they're the same, but what I'm looking for in year 2 is Zach Wilson to be somewhat of a game manager and make sure that he is not making mistakes. He is managing the game plan. He is leading his players, and he may not be ready to take that step where he is actually making the difference in wins. That is what I will look for in year 3. Okay, in year 3, if Zach Wilson progresses next year, I would look for him to start making the difference and being the factor in winning games, as opposed to just making sure they don't lose them. And there's no guarantee he does any of this stuff. He could continue to suck. It could be that the last few weeks are a mirage. We just have to hope he isn't. But regardless, unless Zach Wilson reverts to what he looked like for several weeks during this year and plays that way all of next year and possibly even his third year, Zach Wilson is absolutely getting a minimum of 3 years here. And then at the end of the 3 years, we'll be in the same position we were with Darnold and hopefully have a better idea of whether or not we want to commit to the fourth and fifth years. Because as we've discussed on here, you have to commit to the fourth and fifth year at the same time, or you either you can decline that fifth year option, and then you've got a lame duck quarterback in year 4, and then you have to fight for him as a free agent if he has a good year. So if he's any good, they're going to sign him for the fourth and fifth year, and that goes for any player, not just Zach Wilson or quarterbacks. So he's here for 3 years either way. We have to hope that he makes enough progress next year that in year 3 we can start to compete. Hopefully some of the drafts and free agent signings that we've got coming up this year will solidify this team. There is a lot of promise on offense. There are a couple of nice pieces on defense, but the defense for the most part has been putrid. I think another offseason, I should say, and then looking at next year, the Jets will start to hopefully solidify a little bit and give us some hope. And a lot of that hope's going to hinge on Zach Wilson and what he does. So that's it for me. Going to keep them quick, to the point, one subject, and I'll be back with another one at some point real soon. Okay.